Hello, welcome to Science Daily Journal Podcast Episode 4, Improving. Hi everybody, this is Sai, and today I wanted to talk about that improving. So, as believers in Messiah, have you ever had so many ideas that you have for, trying to make extra money, and so many ideas, so many creative ideas that you can try to do or want to do to make extra money and make extra income? That way you can be able to, have a bit more access to be able to travel here and there, especially if you're like doing missionary work and stuff like that. That's kind of me, is that I have so many ideas, too many really, is that I have so many ideas that I would like to do for like passive income, but you can only do one step at a time. So that's something that I really want to improve on, is trying to strategize, the things that would help one make a living off of, to really dig down into what you really want to do in life. And of course, my main thing that I would want to do is do missionary work. So that would be one of the main things I would love to do, and serve others, help serve others, and that kind of thing. So yeah, we can do so much more to improve, like our faith, and I'm not just talking to this to this phone screen. I'm talking to myself also, is that I can do better. I can definitely do better in, trying to get more into prayer and other regular things, like trying to get more into working out. I've always been a big guy, so I've actually been trying to get into working out more, and I be home a lot, so I try to do things I can do at home, and I can definitely improve on that, and improve on just listening to Yah more. A lot of people don't know God's name, the God of creation, the God of Israel, the God of the Bible. Most people just know God, God, but you have to remember that there are lots of different gods out there that aren't capitalized. And that's not God's name. Also, that's not God's name. God's name is not God. The living God is not. That's not his name. That's just a title. His name is Yah. His name, of course, people, believers call him, different versions of Yah, like Yahweh, which is what I call him, Yehovah, Yahuwah. That's, yeah. That's just some things that believers, call him, but it's all one and the same in my opinion. So, yeah, something else that I can improve on is, trying to think more plans, about what I can do for the kingdom of Yah, of God, and that kind of thing. Everything every day goes smooth day by day, but sometimes you kind of like in this loop and you're like, what can I do for ya? And that's kind of a struggle sometimes, especially if you are at home a lot and not out, like, especially if you like live in a country and like away from society or away from the majority of people. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just going over things I could improve on, and I can always improve on being more fruitful, and um what else I could improve on? I used to write like Bible letters, because sometimes when you can't pray or say things out loud, then you can write it down. So that's what I used to do. I definitely need to get back into that and reminding myself here on. Definitely, I call it a prayer box. It's a box that I write prayers down, and I put it in there. So, because sometimes some embarrassing things might happen in your life, or say you may have sinned or struggling with something in your life that's just so embarrassing for you to even utter out your mouth. So, one thing that can help with that is writing a prayer in the letter. And what else could I improve on? Oh yes. So one thing that I definitely could improve on is being consistent. Being consistent, like not just with my faith, but with other ideas. Because I don't know if you all are like this, or some of you all are like this, but you have you have so many ideas. You started some of those ideas, and you have not finished it, and that's sorry if you heard that. That was my notification. But that's straight up me. Is that I have so many great ideas, but you just started and you haven't exactly finished it yet. That's something to always work on. And so yeah, I hope to improve on that. What else? Oh yes, fasting. Fasting is definitely something that I need to improve on. Sometimes I used to do different types of fasts, which I hope to get back into if y'all willing. Different types of fasts. Like sometimes I may fast from eating meat, so I may only eat vegetables for a period of time. To test myself, not just to test myself, but to strengthen myself and my faith and that kind of thing. And sometimes, I may fast from social media. And I know one thing I definitely need to also work on is, when you read the book of Ecclesiastes, there's this section in there where it says there's a time for everything, and one of those passages that was in it was that there's a time for refraining. I'm a very extrovert person, so it can be hard for me to refrain from talking to people, especially if you talk to them or text them like every day, because like when you don't text them one day, it could, or when you don't text them, it could kind of make them concerned, because they're so used to you being, so used to you being extroverted and always happy and, always smiling and just jolly and that kind of thing. But, and if you're listening to this and you're one of them, then I love you. Yeah, though, thank you for being my friend. And, I'm not, I have quite a few friends, so, I mean, it's not like a bunch like popular or anything like that, but just your average guy with friends who some you talk to or text often, and some you might not text often, but you still check up on each other though. So Is there anything else that I could think of that I could improve? Well, I pretty much summed up a lot of things when I said that I could improve on finishing ideas. There's actually a lot of categories in sharing, not sharing, but there's actually a lot of categories in just that itself. So yeah, is there anything else? I can't think of anything else at the moment, but this was just mostly me going on about things I could improve on. How about you? How is your life going? Do you need prayer for anything if you're listening to this? But if you're not, then that's just fine, because this podcast was mostly for me to share my thoughts and for me to journal down on audio things that come to my mind, and things like that. So yeah, you should ask yourself, what are things you can improve on? What are things that could help your relationship with God, with Yah, and with Yeshua? Things that I ask myself also. And what are, there's a parable in the New Testament where Jesus, where Yeshua is talking about there was 3 servants, and that the master of those servants gave them talents for them to make extra talents. And there was this one lazy servant. He did not make any extra talents. He took the talents that his master gave him and dug it and hid it in the ground. So when his master came back, he took away those talents from him, and he gave it to a faithful servant, to the other faithful servants who made more extra talents than the ones that he gave. So what are the talents that you have that you might be burying, or what are the talents that you have that you're struggling not to bury, or struggling trying to get at the ground, and trying to make more talents? What are those things? So yeah, I just pray that God bless you and that He guide you in such a fruitful way to move forward and to just continue going through with whatever He may be trying to help you with. That's good in His eyes. And again, I'm praying for myself also. In Yeshua's name, Amen. Thank you for listening. Bye. Shalom.